Hello, it's Randi Rhodes, and yet another free thing for you, just for you, from Political Voices. Check out this free clip from Political Voices, only at Political Voices Network.
We're looking at the so-called hush money payment issue. And then we learned from the Southern District of New York that they asked us to stand down. And by stand down, I mean they were communicating that they had this ongoing investigation and they wished that we put our efforts on hold while they completed their investigation. And obviously that was a discretionary call by me whether or not to do that, but I felt it was entirely appropriate. Obviously the Southern District of New York is it's an excellent organization with great leaders and prosecutors, and I felt that was appropriate for me to press the pause button.
Okay, so that was the former district attorney of Manhattan, Cyrus Vance. And Cyrus Vance is no longer the district attorney of the borough of Manhattan. Now Alvin Bragg is. So here's what's important to know as we, discuss what that stand down thing is about. Okay, so SDNY is it's the Southern District of New York office of the DOJ. It's federal. It's the Department of Justice. Okay. And your ultimate boss when you work in the Southern District of New York, even though Southern District of New York prides itself on being very independent from D.C., from Washington, Southern District of New York's ultimate boss is the Attorney General of the United States. At that point, it was Bill Barr. And Bill Barr wanted to kill the local investigation into the Michael Cohen hush money payments and the local investigation into the Trump Organization and tax fraud and the local investigation that was a civil case that was going on. And so the Department of Justice under Bill Barr called the elected borough district attorney, Cyrus Vance, and said, we need you to step back. We need you to stand down. We need you to quit your investigation into Michael Cohen and the hush money payments. You know why? You're stepping on the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice has this very large investigation going on. And we're going to look into all of these matters. And so you need to pause your investigation while we do ours. And Cyrus Vance decided that the Department of Justice and SDNY was, a very professional office. They had always had, this reputation for being independent of the Department of Justice, even though they are the Department of Justice. And so he would defer and he would shut down his investigation into Michael Cohen. Now, Cyrus Vance has a reputation for doing that with the Trump family before, and it didn't look good to New Yorkers. New Yorkers weren't having any of it because Cyrus Vance was looking at Ivanka Trump, okay, and also Junior for some time before Donald Trump was president for fraud that went into the sale of the Trump property in the Village in Manhattan, Trump Soho. And he was, he was talked into or decided that he wasn't going to go ahead and prosecute them for some fraud that he had found happened with the sale of apartments in Trump Soho in that building. So Cyrus Vance had a bad reputation with regard to prosecuting the Trumps prior. Well, Cyrus Vance is no longer the district attorney, as we all know, and Alvin Bragg is. And the district attorney in Manhattan represents the borough of Manhattan, and the state of New York is his boss, okay? Not the feds. It's a state thing. And so Alvin Bragg, after Cyrus Vance was told to stand down and said he agreed to do that, Alvin Bragg comes in and Alvin Bragg goes, I don't agree to do that. I'm doing an investigation. Know why? Because the Trump Organization was just convicted on 17 felony counts, okay? 17 guilty convictions for Donald Trump's companies. Something real is going on. Something prosecutable is going on. This is a fraudulent company that, laundered money for this hush money payment. And Donald Trump did it to, hide the payment. Michael Cohen went to jail for this crime. Donald Trump's not the president anymore. Bill Barr is not the AG. DOJ isn't, the SDNY doesn't answer to Bill Barr anymore. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. And he did it. Now, Bill Barr has subsequently admitted to, inserting himself into the Roger Stone case, into the Michael Flynn case, into the Michael Cohen case. And what he was trying to do was make those crimes go away, even for the people who pled guilty to them, so that the crimes didn't exist when Donald Trump was no longer president. I hope that was a good explanation for you about what's going on here, because that is what's going on here. And what's really frightening and gross is that Donald Trump stands on the stage and accuses Merrick Garland's Department of Justice, accuses Alvin Bragg's district attorney's office in the state of New York in the borough of Manhattan of doing exactly what Donald Trump's Department of Justice and what Cyrus Vance in Manhattan actually did in service of Donald Trump. It's not even projection anymore, because projection says that whatever I'm doing, I'm going to accuse you of. It's already happened. They've done it. And now they're accusing the current occupants of these offices of doing what they'd already done. Bill Barr was a fixer. After Michael Cohen was, pled guilty, Donald Trump needed a fixer, but he needed a presidential level fixer, somebody who understood government, which Donald Trump did not, somebody who understood what the Department of Justice could do, where it could assert itself, where it could, just get rid of charges, where it could say, well, and how do you get rid of charges? Well, you say that the predicate, the underlying theory of the case, was unjust to begin with. And this is what Bill Barr did with Crossfire Hurricane. This is what he did. This is why QAnon and freaks of nature out there think the Russia investigation was a hoax, because Bill Barr wanted you to. And that's why Bill Barr got out ahead of the Mueller report 3 weeks before he allowed you to see the redacted Mueller report, 3 weeks before, and told you, nothing to see here, move along. This droid means nothing to you.